Hi YouTube, it's Joe here, part-time eBay reseller from South East London. Not done a video in a long time. Stuff been really busy at work and lots of things on the go, and just trying to crack on with eBay and sort of find the videos sort of a bit distracting. But I thought I'd do one, just haven't done one in ages. I went to car boot, so the car boot around where I am, it pretty much carries on every Saturday throughout the year, and it's pretty small, but there seems to be some pretty good stuff there if you get it right. So this is just like a little Saturday boot sale where I am, and I'll show you what I picked up because it was particularly good this week. Yeah, I'll go through the items, some of the stuff I picked up, why, prices I hope to get for it, and then yeah, a little bit of information about it. Where I am, if you haven't seen my videos before, I tend to get quite a few trainers. Yeah, I think it's just a London thing. People seem to have quite decent trainers and sort of seem to move them on. I've never had these before. It's a pair of Puma. I think they're like Puma ring trainers. I don't know if they're for wrestling or boxing, either or. But yeah, they came with a dust bag. Going to £4 for those, and they're in really good condition. So I took a chance on those. Probably look for about 25 to 30 on them. Converse, I do buy Converse, but I don't just buy any pairs of Converse. I try and stick to the basic sort of colours and sizes. You know, your sort of whites, your blacks, your blues. I find they tend to go well. You get sort of obscure colours or small sizes. They tend to stick around for quite a while. These are a couple of quid. And should be able to get sort of about 15 to 20 back on them. Likewise with this black pair, they're quite small, kid sizes. Don't be put off by this fluffing on the bottom. That's just how they come, and they're sold new like that. A couple of quid on those. A couple of pairs of Nike Rift. Now I don't like these trainers at all, but they seem to sell really well, and they sell quite well in the summer. Got a couple of pairs. This one I think was £3. I mean, again, a bit marked in here, but that's just how they go. Yeah, it's not too big a problem. And then yeah, this grey pair. Similar, so you get a bit of marking in there, but that's just to be expected. That just happens with these. And yeah, in good condition. And these you get like sort of 20-25 quid back on these. Yeah, quite easy to overlook. Got a nice pair of Nike Roche, however you want to pronounce it, trainers here. These sort of like a white sort of knit pattern. There's a little bit of fluffing on the toe caps to them, but generally really good condition. And they were £8, but should look to get about 30 back on those. I also picked up another pair of them. They're boxed over here. I paid 12 on these, perhaps a bit much, but I knew they'd sell pretty quick. They're suede ones. I'll clean the soles up and stuff like that in good condition with the box and everything like that, and should look again somewhere around sort of 30 quid back on those. So not a huge amount of profit, but it'd be a pretty quick seller. Pretty confident about that. Nice pair of Jordans. Had to pay up on these. Guy knew what they were. They wanted £8 for these, but yeah, pretty decent size. I can't remember what the style are off the top of my head. They're not a massively good pair, but yeah, should do all right with them. Air Force, again, I'm getting a bit pickier about Air Force, the condition that they're in. I'm picking these up because I do see them quite a lot, but yeah, I know sort of what I want to pay. I paid £5 for these, and I think I paid £6 on the others, which again seems like a lot, but they sell for sort of 25 quid quite consistently. If you can sort of clean them up a little bit, I'll just sort those all out. These are massive. These are size 12 Converse 1 stars. I think that's what they're called. Yeah, so I'll clean them up again, sort of pre-marked across here, which makes them look sort of like they're not very valuable, but that stuff all comes off so easily on Converse. So I'll clean them up nice, and I should, yeah, look again, 25 quid on those roughly, maybe a bit less, I don't know. And then sadly these are only a small kid size. This is a pair of Jordan's Son of Mars trainers. Again, good condition, £5, but with your kids ones, you're sort of looking at there being a bit of a ceiling on stuff like second-hand Jordans. You know, I'm good. I'll do well to get over 20 quid on those, but you know, not bad. Sort of little trainer haul. Consoles and bits and pieces. I picked up a couple of Wii's off. One guy had one, but he wanted a bit too much for it. I did pick up 2 sets of controllers off him for £5 each on those, so I paid a tenner on that. Then another guy had a Wii. He just had it in a bag. And he's really cheap, this guy. And I said, how much did he? Said, I'll just take, you can have it for £5. So there's 4 nunchucks. I've got to sort them all out. One's unofficial, but the other 3 are official. 4 controllers. One of them's missing the back. But yeah, not too bad. So that was all that for a £5. It was pretty good. Oh, and the games as well it came with. And I think there was a surprise. One of the games, I can't remember which one it was, but one of them had it had Mario Party 8 in it. I can't remember, it's knocking around here somewhere, but yeah, I know this was it. Yeah, so it didn't have Resident Evil in it. It had Mario Party 8, which was quite a nice surprise, because obviously a bit more of a desirable game. So that was good. Again, this was a shame. The guy said he had a SNES, and I was, you know, sort of semi-excited about it, but he only had the unit and then Donkey Kong Country 3, and he wanted 15 quid for it. Which was, no, he wanted 20 quid, he wanted 10 quid and 10 quid, but he did the pair for 15, which is probably too much. It's not particularly any money in that, really. But yeah, just one of those things. I probably shouldn't have bought it, but you know, just one of those things. In here, there's a massive like load of Brother ink. I paid up on this. Paid up on it. It was a bargain. I paid 50 quid for all that's in there, but there's loads of money's worth, probably a couple of £100 worth in there. Once I put it into the sets and stuff like that. Ink's a great thing. It's going to sell all year round. Doesn't matter what the weather's like and so on. It's just going to keep on selling. Yeah, the weather's been affecting a few people's sales, I imagine, and stuff like that. People's sales up and down, but yeah, that's one thing which just does really well throughout. This I didn't actually get from. Car Boots. I got this from the charity shop last week. It's one of those Britain's Got Talent buzzers. I couldn't believe the price on these. I remember Nick had mentioned these a long time ago, but they're just going up and up in value. If you've got a set of 3 of these, they're going for 100 quid for 3 crappy little plastic toys. This one was £1.50 at the charity shop. Probably get about 25 quid, 30 quid just for this one by itself. And I think Britain's Got Talent is starting back up again soon. I'm not particularly sure, but I think it is. So yeah, it could be a good time to sell it. Oh yeah, I've got a few Game Boy Advance games. The guy wanted a quid each, but I think he had 7. I think he just he did me for a 5. There wasn't. Yeah, this was the game. Most of the games are pretty average, but this is Iridian 2, sort of about a £10 game. The rest, I'll focus on them. Yeah, the rest are pretty standard games. I picked up off my normal guy a load of CDs for like 10p each. I'll get scanning those later on. It's a big bag of them. I think that was like, yeah, it works out about 9 quid or something like that. I think I paid for all of them like 90 CDs. So I'll scan them in, see if any are worth doing on Amazon or eBay, or, you know, a lot of them will just go straight back on sort of Magpie or Ziffit just to move them on. Yeah, a few Disney DVDs off this guy as well. He sort of sells his DVDs for 25p. You see it's come out of a charity shop. Charity shop couldn't sell it for £2.50, so they bulk it into the auction and they end up for me at 25p. Whereas if they tried to sell that for a quid, a Blu-ray, I'm sure they would have done. So that's that. And then a few games, just sort of like £1.50p for these sort of games. Cars 2, yeah, not a bad game, about a tenner. Yeah, nothing particularly special. Shadow the Hedgehog's not a good game, but I've got a few other Sonic games on PS2 and wanted to put a little bundle together. A couple of quid on Zumba Fitness 2. A guy had a Wii, but I just didn't want another one. He wanted a bit much, but he sold me that for a couple of quid. I don't normally buy kids' clothes, but there's a Manchester United long-sleeved blue Ashley Young shirt, and then another one, and the shorts, and they were a £1 an item, so that was 3 quid, and I just thought I'd just do that all together as a little bundle. Won't do particularly well, but there you go. This was interesting. I've not had this stuff before. Acuvist, so AccuView sort of disposable contact lenses. Yeah, 6 packs there. They're £1 each, but again, they did give them to me for £5. But I think, according to somebody else, I'm not 100% sure if you're allowed to sell these on eBay. Somebody has done it, because I've seen a couple of completed listings. It might be a case of putting them on pretty cheap, all in one lot, on like second account or something, just so I don't get a strike on my main account for listing something you're not meant to. So I'll see about that, but it's really expensive stuff. You know, these are sort of £12-15 a pack ordinarily, so you know, I might be able to get 40 quid back or something like that, just try and shift them on quickly. Picked up this N64 for a guy. He wanted 6 quid for it. I mean, it obviously had 2 nice controllers. It's got the official lead, but it's like a US, it's got a US plug. I think it's actually a US system. I can't know if you can see in there. Somebody's, I think, sort of ground off these bits here, which I think you need to put a PAL cart in there. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think this is a US system, so not really worth much. I mean, it's got the jumper in it, which I might be able to use, and the pack potentially. I'll just have to see if I can be bothered to do anything with this. And this game's yeah, just a doorstop. A few more bits. This I didn't have my phone with me, so there's a few bits I wasn't really 100% sure on, but seemed to do all right. Actually, got a bit lucky on them. This Casio label printer, it just looked pretty valuable, and it's got a few extra cartridges in there. And the guy wanted 5 quid originally, but he did it for 3. Seen one of those sell for 30 quid on eBay, so yeah, should do all right with that. What have we got on here? The guy had a Mega Drive and PS2 DualShock controller, the leads for the Mega Drive. No controllers, but I've got a couple of spare ones. Again, in just a bag. He said, "Oh, you just give us 5 quid for that, Joe." And I mean, there'll be a little bit of money in that, not a huge amount, but he's a guy who I like to try and buy quite a bit of stuff off, because he sort of holds stuff back for me, and he's pretty decent. He doesn't really hold stuff back, I shouldn't say that, but he'll hand it to me sort of straight out of his van and stuff like that, so that's quite helpful. This joystick as well, paid 50p for that. I don't think it's a particularly collectible one, might get about a tenner for it. I've got a Ralph Lauren jacket hanging up there, that was 15 quid, really nice condition, about 120 quid. The guy said he paid for it in the sale and it's genuine, so I'll see if I can shift that on, maybe on a Facebook group or something like that, otherwise that'll get listed. Where are we? A few more bits. This was just a total guess. It's a quid, kind of £2 I think, for this Philips dictation system. Now if you've got the whole setup of that, it's sort of got a pedal and earphones and bits and pieces, you're talking sort of 150, 200 quid. That by itself seems to go for about 30, so that was quite nice. This is a Robert's stream time radio, Wi-Fi, internet radio. There's none actually listed on eBay like this, so there's a newer model than this, but this I think is from about 2009, so nearly 10 years old, this model. But yeah, I think it was about 120 quid when it was new. Guy wanted £4 for it, so I thought, you know, I'm not really going to lose out on that. This Olympus, now this was one of these, again, this sort of dictation system, and I didn't have my phone on me, so I couldn't look it up. I just had in the back of my mind that these were worth something. Yeah, £3, all boxed in there. It's got the pedal. It's missing one of the pedals actually, but I think it's only meant to come with one of them. Having read this here, it says one foot switch RS23, or the other one, it's got the one which has got the forward, back and the pause and stuff like that. It's got all the discs in there, all the info, so yeah, that should be good, and that's about a £50 item, so that's quite nice. This was totally outside my comfort zone. I never normally pick up stuff like this. Guy got it out. He had a few other tin toys and stuff like that. There was a bit of interest in it, but this one just seemed to jump out to me. It's Planet Tank. It's by Modern... ironically, it's by a company called Modern Toys. Yeah, there you go, Modern Toys. This is from 1966. It should have a little radar, and it's missing that. And I don't think it's particularly working like it should. And it's quite rusty. But for a £5, I thought it just felt like a good buy. I don't know if I'm going to get rid of that or not. I'll have to see. I quite like it. It's sort of quite a nice little ornament piece. But yeah, pretty pleased with that. Then the last few bits, I got some Nerf. I got caught up in blind crappy old Nerf, like everyone does. You know, it's just one of those things. I got a few of them there. They're sort of like, you wanted £6 for it. Yeah, and there's, I don't know why I bothered, but I should get about 25 to 30 quid back on those. Summer's coming, not a bad time to sell that stuff. So there we are. A few bits from last week, I think we've got there. Yeah, and then just loads of stuff just everywhere that just needs dealing with, needs sorting out, needs selling. So yeah, there we go. That's me. That's a little video of sort of what I've been picking up, what I've been up to. Sales wise for me, it's been all right. My sales are still sort of growing year on year. Last month I'd say hasn't been particularly strong. It's more the sort of the new goods and stuff like that seem to be selling. The used stuff seem to be slowing down a bit, so maybe I need to sort of look at my pricing a little bit of that. But you know, getting by, carrying on. Got all this stuff to try and get on eBay this week. I don't know if it will happen. I'll give it a bash, but yeah, we'll see how we get on. Anyway guys, yeah, first video in a while. Might get back onto doing a few more. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Anyway, best of luck hunting, and yeah, enjoy the summer. Cheers, bye.